Hi everyone, it's Anna Martinez. Today I really wanted to sit down and talk about something that's close to my heart, how important it is for us as teachers to understand learning disabilities and how we can use that knowledge to truly support our students. The U.S. Department of Education in 2023 explains that learning disabilities are brain-based differences that affect how someone receives and processes information. That means they're not about effort or intelligence. They're about how the brain is wired. And for me, that's one of the biggest reasons teachers need to know about the causes, signs, and characteristics of these disabilities. If we don't know what to look for, we might mistake a student's struggle for laziness or lack of motivation. But once we understand what a child's brain simply works differently, we can shift our focus from what's wrong to how can I help? I've also learned from the National Center of Learning Disabilities in 2023 that learning disabilities can show up in many ways, from reading and writing to math, attention, and organization. For example, a student with dyslexia may read slowly or mix up letters, while a student with dysgraphia might have a really hard time getting their thoughts down on paper. This is why it's so important to look beyond test scores and behavior and see the whole picture of who a student is. When I think about planning lessons, I know I want to consider more than just academics. I want to look at each student's cognitive, language, and social and emotional needs. The Council for Exceptional Children in 2024 says that the learning these areas helps teachers plan instruction, reading more visuals or audiobooks, or offering step-by-step instructions for a child who has trouble focusing. It's about building confidence. I know that when students feel safe and more supported, they're likely to try even when things seem hard. The Through Your Child's Eyes videos from Understood in 2023 really changed how I seen all of this. In one of the reading challenge videos, I watched a student with dyslexia try to read a simple paragraph, and it was like the words were moving and changing places. I honestly felt emotional watching that because it reminded me that students are often putting in twice the effort just to get through the same task. Another video showed what it's like for a student with organizational challenges, and it made me realize how overwhelming school can feel for them. These videos gave me a deeper sense of empathy and a better way to explain these struggles to people who might not understand. It's not about trying harder, it's about recognizing the real obstacles they face and finding ways that I can support them. Having a basic understanding of how disabilities affect learning and even life beyond the classroom changes the way we teach. For example, knowing that dysgraphia makes handwriting painful means I can offer voice-to-text tools or oral assignments. Understanding that ADHD impacts working memory means I can use visuals and checklists, and also frequently check in with the students. These small changes don't lower expectations, they remove barriers, and that's how we create an inclusive classroom where every student has a real chance to succeed. My faith also deeply influences how I approach this work. In Psalms 139:14 reminds me that every child is fearfully and wonderfully made. I hold on to that verse when I think about students with exceptionalities because it reminds me that they are not broken or less than. They are beautifully created with unique gifts. The statement on integration of faith and work from Grand Canyon University in 2020 encourages teachers to serve with compassion and That's exactly how I want to show up for my students and their families. I know that a new diagnosis can feel scary for parents. As a mom myself, I can imagine the worry and fear that they feel. That's why I want to be a teacher who listens, who reassures them that their child has a bright future, and who walks alongside them every step of the way. At the end of the day, understanding learning disabilities isn't just part of our job, it's part of our calling. It's about building trust, creating a safe and supportive space, and helping every child see that they are capable of doing amazing things. Every student deserves a teacher who believes in them, and by learning about their unique needs, we become that teacher. Thanks so much for listening. I hope this conversation reminds you that knowledge, empathy, and faith together can make a huge difference, not just about how we teach, but in how our students see themselves and what they believe they can achieve.